Is this just fantasy? Indeed so. This is By Chance or Providence by Becky Cloonan with an assist by Lee Loughridge. So Becky Cloonan, it's no secret, is one of my favorite comic artists slash writers slash just general creators. I have enjoyed her work for many years now, since before I actually got the chance to meet her a few times. And it's this work in particular that I knew I needed to cover when it came to fantasy, and specifically fantasy comics. By Chance or Providence is an anthology of 3 short stories, and today we're just going to be covering the first of them, which is Wolves. This is the, I guess you could say, Ashcan edition, or it's the original edition, and that's actually, I think, the one we're going to be going through. We'll take a look at this one, because this is the, blown up, collected, colored one, but I want to give a look at this one just because it's in this form that I think that the artwork shines the best. No disrespect to Lee Loughridge and his colors, but I just really love the black and white, especially for this story. So let's get into it. So first off, great cover. Really love the line work, and that's the thing that I'm going to keep coming back to with Becky Cloonan and just talking about this little short story, is her ink line, her mastery of just telling stories visually with black, white, and maybe a little gray. This is also nice. When I bought this, I didn't realize that it was signed. And it's funny, actually, I found all 3 of the shorts secondhand and in like this format. And they're all signed. It's really nice. Nice little inset here. Dedicated to everyone who lives between their pages. Another great line drawing. Just look at how they melt together. This is from 2011. Printed in Montreal, it says. Interesting. So, this one is called Wolves, if you haven't noticed already. So right away, just really great page design. I also love the name in Japanese too. And just really loving these trees. And I just love that there's also variety in the trees. There's like a birch tree and other trees. There's vines growing off of this one. And we have our central figure, you could say. And this is, by the way, this is a very short story. They're all pretty short, but they tell their little story very well. And by very well, I mean with just gorgeous line art and a very skillful application of gray line. And we have this feral looking guy. And just, yeah, such great close-ups. A great sequence here. Silent panels of him wandering through the forest. And that forest looks dense. That forest looks like you could easily get lost in it or struggle to get through it. Here we have a bird. And again, could have just gone with an empty panel and just the bird, but she gives it texture with a little bit of ink fleck in there. And she also throws in some of like the top of the trees in there. Just enough to get it going. It also seems barren, maybe cold, maybe wintry, because there's no leaves. And just, yeah, scooping up this rock and killing this bird with it. Like, it's pretty impressive, especially because it looks like he glanced off of a tree right here. But still, real nice gross inset here of him eating that bird. And just look at all these great textures. And I've said it so many times, and I'm going to say it so many more times. And that is, the depiction of the natural world is essential for I think, fantasy art, especially fantasy comic art, to ring true. Because that's really what's a common thing in most fantasy is natural settings, or a placement, like human settlement is within nature and not nature within outside of human settlement. It's essential. I also love this sequence. We have our first kind of hint at what's to come in this memory here. And I say it's a memory, one, because I know, but two, because she separates the style here. Here she's got gray tones and deep dark blacks. And here she's throwing some hatching in. She's keeping it light. We have our, like, a princess of some sort. And then, but then here, so he's completely naked, but then here, through this memory, we transition into a different time. Somebody who's wearing shoes, you say. And then we get our next look at our figure, and this is him at a different time. He's clothed, he's armed, and that's something that I really like to point out here, is just really great, I mean, great compositions all around, but just great costuming. Also, look at this great mountain that's just made from the negative space from the gray tone. Just wonderful. I believe the way she works generally is she inks on paper, like this story, for instance, inks on paper and then digitally throws in the gray tone. And that's another challenge, is figuring out what tone of gray, how dark, and she goes for right in the middle, which is smart. And so yeah, he's out here in the woods hunting, and it seems like there's, I don't know, more going on in terms of greenery, maybe. But I just, yeah, love these little inserts here where we can get some of the detail on his costume. Great costuming. And also, we have another memory, and this one's a little saucier. See, it's not just with Samna, her most recent work. She's always edged towards being a little lightly erotic or lightly sexy, you know? And who doesn't like that? I mean, some people, I guess, but they suck. So yes, so, yeah, like this, he's taking greater risks. So the idea is he's out in the forest hunting, but he's had some sort of dalliance with this princess or queen or whoever, and he is remembering a time going to see her. And I like that in these memories we get like the rounded edges. Like with her, it's even lighter here, but yeah, we get these rounded edges, which let us know that is a memory. That is not what's happening currently. It's a really great way, a very efficient way to jump back and forward through time. And also, look at all these. This is great line work, great shadows, great casting of the light. And yeah, and then we're back to the time when he's armed, and we finally come upon the moment that he is coming, the reason he's coming out here, which is he's hunting, and it becomes clear what he's hunting very soon. I love the casting of these wards to protect himself, the bones, so it's a little folk magic there, and he's got like tick marks on his sword saying that he has possibly hunted werewolves before, because it's a werewolf, guys. It's a werewolf. Look at that creepy motherfucker. But yeah, he's killed 7 of them before. But yeah, really great stuff. And just look at this great silhouette of a hand right in here. And yeah, I love werewolves of all kinds. This one's really creepy because it's got slightly human features, but it's also a little off. It's uncanny. Not the teeth or the claws, it's the eyes. And we're going back to that memory there. That sexy memory. And here we get an awesome fight between this guy and a werewolf. It's such a great, efficient story here. I mean, just, yeah, these great dynamics as far as the panels go. She's making every single one count, making every single one good to look at. And I love this shot. This may be one of the best, like, most dynamic shots right here is this werewolf chomping down on the sword. It's nasty teeth and tongue. And here he gets a scratch. And he gets, you know, he keeps getting, you know, cut up, chewed up. And he is left here on this cliff. He's got to take this thing out. And yeah. And now I know why the king sent me. And it says he kills this thing. Now I know he knows. So this is the queen. And I have done his bloody deed for him. And what that means, if you haven't caught on, which, look at these sunrise. Look at these. That's a sunrise, even if it's in black and white. And then look at this panel of him covering up this corpse. Because what happens to a werewolf? They transition back into human form once they get killed. He's carrying now human werewolf. Just look at these great settings. Look at that bridle on that horse. Like, that's enough. Like, any one of these panels, like, I would want to frame and put on a wall. Look at this. Heading back to the castle or the town. These guards are yelling, open the gates. And he's had a hell of a night. And then in he comes. And yeah, just love this. Yeah, all the costuming is great. And in he comes, and he puts down the body, and it's got a human hand. FYI, if you haven't caught on, it was the queen. He had to kill his own lover, and the king made him do it because he knew this king's a dick. But look how well-dressed this king is. He looks like he's right out of fucking The Northman or Skyrim or some shit. It's great. Throwing down his gold, his blood money, but he can never return because he is now cursed. Because he's been scratched up by a werewolf, he is now doomed to become one. Amazing. And yeah, so, I mean, that was a quick little story. So here, Wolves is a story that took many months to pull together. Once for the Japanese anthology Journeys in 2009, and now for the English edition you hold in your hands, which saw added scenes in a new script. I drew these pages between the panels of other books, so please don't think of me as a two-timer. I just love making comics. But anyway, what a great little short story. It's horrific, it's tragic, it's gorgeous. And now I want to show you what it looks like in the collected edition. This is, by the way, I don't think this is even the most current edition of By Chance or Providence. I think there's a newer one. I don't know what's different about it. Maybe there's more like back matter or something. Here we get another signature from here. And yeah, let's look at this. I think actually she might have added a little more. I think she added a little more to one of the stories, maybe. But yes. So here we go. So here is that first page. And interesting, huh? What color can do. And it's not overdone, I don't think. And it's not like I think it's bad or anything. I think ink art, I mean, because that's the kind of stuff I like. I don't know. I really love ink line. That's what I draw in. That's what draws me in. But yeah, the color work is great. I also like, look at this little pop here for the memory. And yeah, it's yeah, the color work is actually really well done, really well accomplished. And I want to make sure that you all are aware that I mean, I like it. I like the color. See, I like this little like soft purple in the back there for the knight. But like I wanted to show the black and white first because I'm drawn to that. Yeah, look at this mouth, looks gross here, nice color. So yeah, it's great color choices. You look at the sunrise here. Sold even more with the color here. I think the color here really shines. And yeah, we got this great transition here, the greens and oranges. Yeah. Yeah, I think the color work is fantastic. But I just wanted to show you the black and white. But yeah, that is our first taste of By Chance or Providence by Becky Cloonan. And I recommend, if you want to find one of these, go for it. Because I just think that they are... I just think that these stories really are gorgeous in black and white. But you can more easily find this, the collected version. And I definitely suggest it because all the stories are great and it's in color. And I think this should be seen and read more because to me, it is one of the great modern collections of fantasy stories. Just great modern fantasy comics. And so, yeah, I'm very inspired by it, and I hope that you will be too, especially all you fantasy lovers out there who I think should give comics a chance. This is a great place to start. And another great place to go to may be my own comics, say my Haxan anthologies. These are a collection of short stories similar to By Chance or Providence. Each is 60 pages of fantasy stories of witchcraft and death and all kinds of fun stuff. And another book that takes place in the same universe is my comic Sidequesters, which is a odd couple buddy cop story of a straight-laced warrior who has to team up with a 9-foot lizard man with a big hammer, and they become best friends. And it is 8 issues collected into this first volume, with more comics from Sidequesters on the way this year. And you can buy all of this on my website, or you can read them on Global Comics. But that's enough of me for the day. So go ahead and find your copy of By Chance or Providence and start your love affair with the works of Becky Cloonan.